You have gained access to the upper level of Castle Zdravno, and all number of ideas now percolate within your mind. You want the orb on the other side of the room, but the wooden ogre is guarding it, and you have learned to be smart about how you approach dangers in this place. Could covering its head prevent it from detecting you? Or could you use fire, perhaps, to keep it at bay? You have no knowledge of this particular kind of construct. Perhaps there is a book in the library that can provide this kind of information, though you would have to spend time looking. That might be worth it, but first, on to some more immediate ideas. You take the skull from the bookshelf in the library, interested in seeing if it corresponds with the headless skeleton statue in the sepulchre. Then, on the eastern side of the room, you have a look at the door. Checking it over, nothing stands out to you, and you open it. The door opens to a wizard's workshop, with tables, implements, ingredients, and containers with various alchemical substances. Things that are liquid, things that are powdery, things that are sticky, and so on. A planter pot is overgrown with ivy, a large specimen of the same plant you have seen growing in various parts of the castle. Scanning the workshop over with your eyes, you notice that there is another door, which is in the southwestern part of the room. This area seems like yet another place where you could spend a good amount of time searching and experimenting, and it might even turn out to be important in your quest. But there are other, more immediate things that you want to explore first. Open questions that you think you might have answers to, starting with something in the kitchen. You have learned in more than one location that Zdravno's grandfather Radek was murdered by his own son, Zdravno's uncle Casimir, who used a meat cleaver to commit the sinful deed. Supposedly the killing took place right here, in this very room. Could it be? You pull the chain that has the cleaver suspended from it. Putting some effort into it, the chain comes down a bit, engaging some mechanism. This causes a secret wall compartment to open up. Within the tiny cubbyhole is a desiccated, preserved hand. Affixed to it by a string is a little strip of parchment that reads, Uncle Casimir's wicked hand. What a grisly find. You scrutinize it up close. There is a bit of old, dried blood under the fingernails. You also make a mental connection between this and the ghoul statue. As ghouls are flesh-eating undead killers, this might be the key to that puzzle. You also make a mental note to use your mage hand to put Uncle Casimir's hand into the thing's mouth, in case it is made to snap shut. On the way to the sepulchre, you stop by the throne room. The imp had taunted you about being a chimney sweeper. Did that mean something? Now that the fire has died, you can have a look inside the hearth. You stick your head in there and try your best not to dirty yourself with soot. Whatever it is you're looking for, it is not here. Wasting no more time, you return to the sepulchre room. Through the courtyard and the cemetery you go, back to this chamber of burial vaults. With your ghostly arcane hand, you set the skull on top of the skeleton statue. It fits on quite well. Next, you send the preserved hand into the ghoul statue's open mouth. The jaws clamp down. With a scraping sound, the burial vault opens. The one that you had perceived led to a deeper space. Ducking into the dim tunnel, you proceed down a set of stairs toward whatever hidden recess lies beyond. You squint in the gloom. You can barely make out anything, though there is some vague sound from up ahead, a whirring noise or some distant howling. The passageway is cramped, but after only a few strides, you come to an inner sanctum. It is a small room with a table and chair, a bookcase, and a shelf of arcane objects. There is also the mounted head of some large owl beast on the wall. As much as this secret study inspires great curiosity in you, it also provokes a terrible sense of dread. On the floor is a ring of 9 crimson candles, and a mystical portal is open within the circle they form. It is as though peering through a window of haze and ethereal liquid, and below you see a hellish cavern, similar to what you had glimpsed in your nightmare. From the portal emanates a reddish, unearthly light, and the faint hint of sulfur. The candles are large ones, but they obviously have been burning for a long time. By the look of them, you judge that they will burn out in about 13 hours, when night falls later today. And when they do, the portal will close. There is a voice, dark and unholy, which issues from below and rings throughout the small study.
Who goes there?
I am the apprentice of High Wizard Zdravno, a mage in my own right. You clutch your wand, uncertain of what to expect.
Have you come to fulfill Zdravno's bargain?
I've come for him. Where is he?
Oh, he is here. He failed to provide the items he pledged to deliver to me, but it seems his portal is still active, at least for now. If you have brought the items, we can come to an arrangement. I would be generous enough to return your master to you in exchange.
A chill runs down your spine. You crouch low and keep your distance from the hazy portal, worried that whoever this is might see you from below. Am I speaking to Malekithis the Three-Horned?
None other. And what is your name, Apprentice?
I am... You consider if you should state your real name, or maybe give a fake name or some other moniker. You try to find your courage and steel your nerves. Your entire body is shaking. Your heart is thrumming. Cold sweat cloys you like a fever. Lucia is at the foot of the stairs. Her eyes are wide with terror, and when you look at her, she turns her feline head in shame.
Do you have no name, young wizard?
I'm not giving you my name. I need to speak with the master of the castle, Zdravno Koyos de Vest.
I do not answer the demands of weaklings. If you cannot fulfill the bargain, then Zdravno's soul will be forfeit as my compensation.
Moans of the damned drift up from the portal, along with the rattle of chains and the cackling of devils. You fear for Zdravno's soul and for your own life. A frantic sensation skitters all through you, and you clamber away from the portal. You crawl up onto the stairs, then into a crouch. Is some giant devilish hand going to reach out and pull you down to hell? Is a swarm of imps going to ensnare you and drag you away? What a nightmare this is.